But yes, so sorry. So what I was getting at is, in recent years, all these cost cutting efforts with Warner Brothers. This, for instance, this Looney Tunes movie was actually not distributed by Warner Studios, which is why you may not have heard of it. It was bought by another production company called like Ketchup Inc. or something like that, and they released it, and they're the ones putting it into theaters, which is why it has a smaller run, theatrical run, and all that. But Warner Brothers has also, I believe I read, removed the Looney Tunes library from Max because they want to focus on like original content and family programming, whatever bullshit they came up with, right? So now these classics of animation are not in their home. And I think it's so sad that, you've got this.
They're not in Warner Brothers.
They're not on Max, basically.
Because Warner Brothers, Max has Warner Brothers.
Correct. Because it's Warner is part of, HBO is part of Warner.
Okay.
But it's just really sad.
It's also confusing.
All these things are just one big ass company.
This Medicare fraud, so confusing.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's probably less confusing. But I love all these old cartoons, and I think it's some of them, yes, some of them if you go back, they're problematic. Yes, 1,012%. But the Looney Tunes cartoons specifically were just so madcap crazy, and I think informed so much of, like, I'm speaking for myself, my sense of humor, like my pop culture knowledge, the fact that we know certain people because we would see these cartoons from the 40s, and that's how we know who Frank Sinatra was and Clark Gable because of those caricatures, and the Barber of Seville like was our first exposure to opera.
I think a lot of the Looney Tunes cartoons and like with Bugs Bunny and all that, they're obviously, as kids, we missed a lot of references, but they are filled with references.
Absolutely.
That as an adult, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and they're absolutely subversive. And so I feel like, Looney Tunes is a big part of who I am as far as my sense of humor and sensibilities. So, I just wanted to get my last soda to, if you get a chance to see it in the theaters, go support it. It's called The Looney Tunes Movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up.
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony, and in this cartoony, we're invading your TV.
With comic dispensers, we crack up all the sensors. With Tiny Toon Adventures, got a dose of comedy. So here's Acme Acres. Yeah.
At Acme University, where we get our tune degree. Yep.
They tried rebooting that one, they did. I just don't know how it.
What my favorite Looney Tunes one is?
Gossamer.